Imagine a universe where the stars dance to the sound of divine creation, where every celestial being shines with the glory of the Creator. In this grandiose setting, an intriguing story emerges, full of mystery and cosmic drama. The rebellion of Lucifer and the fallen angels. But in the midst of this heavenly maelstrom, one question resonates in the minds of many. Where was Jesus during Lucifer's rebellion? Let's go back in time, to the beginning of everything, when the universe was still being shaped by divine hands. Among the most powerful and beautiful beings was Lucifer, the bearer of light, an angel of extraordinary beauty and wisdom. However, pride and ambition began to eat away at his heart, leading him to desire a higher throne, a throne that belonged to God himself. Rebellion was imminent, and heaven was about to be shaken by a titanic confrontation. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to witness a war in heaven? Angels facing off, light and darkness in an epic clash, the very fabric of the cosmos being shaken. And in the midst of it all, the central figure of our faith, Jesus Christ, emerges. But where was he? What was his role in this celestial drama? Was he watching from a distance, or was he directly involved, facing the challenge posed by Lucifer and his followers? In this video, we will explore the depths of the sacred texts, delving into the scriptures and theological traditions that attempt to answer this fascinating question. We will consider the eternal and omnipresent nature of Jesus, as part of the Holy Trinity, and his implication in the creation and maintenance of the heavenly order. Was Jesus, as co-creator, involved in the formation of the angels and therefore also in the fall of those who rebelled? Get ready for a journey that goes beyond time and space, where surprising revelations and spiritual truths are waiting to be discovered. Let's uncover together where Jesus was during the rebellion of Lucifer and the fallen angels, and how his divine presence shaped the destiny of the cosmos. If you're passionate about biblical mysteries and want to deepen your understanding of the battle between good and evil, this is the perfect video for you. So sit back comfortably, open your mind and heart, and embark on this spiritual adventure with us. You are about to discover one of the greatest enigmas in heavenly history, an enigma that continues to fascinate and inspire generations of believers. Where was Jesus during Lucifer's rebellion? Let's find out together. Imagine for a moment a being of incomparable beauty and power, an angel of high rank, endowed with divine wisdom and splendor. This angel, called Lucifer, whose name means a light-bearer, shone in the sky with an almost indescribable glory. Now, visualize this celestial being looking around, observing the majesty of the Creator and the vast domain that stretched out before him. Over time, however, something dark began to germinate in his heart. Lucifer, seduced by his own greatness, began to harbor a dangerous desire. He wanted to be equal to God. This growing pride transformed his admiration for the Creator into an insatiable hunger for power and dominion. The Bible offers glimpses of this transformation in two powerful passages which, although they also refer to earthly kings, are traditionally interpreted as allusions to Lucifer's fall. In Isaiah 14 verses 12 to 15, we read about the morning star, fallen from heaven, who said in his heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will be like the Most High. This desire to usurp God's position was the spark that ignited the flame of rebellion. Isaiah describes Lucifer's fall so vividly that we can almost hear the echo of his fall throughout the cosmos. Ezekiel 28 verses 12 to 17 offers us another window into this story. The text, initially addressed to the king of Tyre, describes a being perfect in beauty and wisdom, covered in precious stones, who walked among the scorched stones of God's holy mountain. This being, however, was found to have iniquity in his heart and, because of his beauty, was filled with violence and sin. I will cast you, you profane one, out of the mountain of God. Says the text, and the vision of Lucifer being cast out of heaven comes to life. The imagination swells at the thought of the magnitude of this rebellion. It wasn't just a simple dispute. It was a celestial war that shook the foundations of paradise. Lucifer, not content with rebelling alone, managed to drag a third of heaven's angels with him, convincing them to join his cause. Imagine the desolation and chaos as heaven, a place of perfect harmony, turns into a battlefield between those faithful to God and the rebels led by Lucifer. So what happened? What was the outcome of this cosmic uprising? The battle was fierce, but divine justice prevailed. Lucifer and his followers were defeated and expelled from heaven, cast down to earth like fallen lightning bolts. The sight of their fall is a powerful reminder of the triumph of good over evil, of light over darkness. But this brings us back to our initial question. Where was Jesus during all this rebellion? As the second person of the Trinity, Jesus was present from the beginning, co-creator and sustainer of the universe. He was there, observing and possibly actively participating in the events that shaped the destiny of the cosmos. The Bible offers us clues, but the true magnitude of his presence and participation is a mystery that continues to fascinate and inspire. In this video, we will explore these texts and traditions in greater depth, seeking to better understand Jesus' position and role during this dramatic rebellion. Stay with us as we unravel this heavenly enigma, and prepare to be amazed by the revelations that await. Now let's delve into the dramatic and fascinating narrative of the fall of the angels. Imagine, for a moment, the immensity of heaven, a place of light and glory, inhabited by myriads of angels, each fulfilling their role with devotion and joy. In this heavenly setting, a central figure emerges who defies the divine order: Lucifer. Seduced by his own pride and desire to be equal to God, Lucifer not only rebels, but also takes a legion of angels with him, a third of the entire heavenly host. This cataclysmic event is symbolically described in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 4. Revelation 12 verse 4 presents us with a powerful image. A dragon, which represents Lucifer, sweeps up a third of the stars in the sky with its tail and throws them to earth. The stars, interpreted as angels, are the heavenly beings who followed Lucifer in his rebellion. But what led these angels, created to serve and glorify God, to follow the path of rebellion? The answer can be found in Lucifer's power of persuasion. Endowed with striking beauty and remarkable wisdom, he used his qualities to instigate doubt, sow discontent, and promise a kingdom of freedom and power under his leadership. He offered the angels a distorted vision of a new order where they could rule rather than serve. This seduction was so strong that a third of the angels chose rebellion in defiance of God's supreme authority. Imagine the scene. Heaven, once a place of harmony and light, now becomes a battlefield. Angels loyal to God, led by Michael, the warrior archangel, face the rebels in a titanic battle. Light and darkness clash in an epic conflict where the fate of the cosmos hangs in the balance. The intensity of the confrontation, the clamor of celestial swords, the gleam of angelic armor, all contribute to a spectacle of power and determination. As the celestial battle unfolds, the viewer's heart is filled with emotion and apprehension. What will happen to these rebellious angels? What will the divine judgment be like? The answer comes with the victory of the forces loyal to God. Lucifer and his followers are defeated and, in an act of divine justice, are cast out of heaven. Imagine the moment of the fall. A flash of light across the heavens as the fallen angels are cast down to earth, taking with them the weight of their rebellion and the loss of heavenly glory. But this story doesn't end with the fall. The fallen angels, now known as demons, continue to act under the leadership of Lucifer, who becomes Satan, the adversary. They become agents of chaos and temptation on earth, trying to divert God's creation from its divine purpose. The narrative of the fall of the angels is not just a tale of defeat, but a continuation of the battle between good and evil, which continues to the present day. And where was Jesus during all these events? As part of the Holy Trinity, Jesus was present and aware of every moment. His participation in and observation of these events is a mystery that provokes curiosity and wonder. As co-creator, he was deeply involved in maintaining order and justice in the universe. Jesus' presence, even if implicit, is a guarantee that divine justice will prevail. To understand the depth and magnitude of Jesus' presence during the rebellion of Lucifer and the fallen angels, we need to explore Jesus' eternal nature. Imagine a being whose existence transcends time and space, a being who was present from the beginning of everything, who participates intimately in the creation and sustenance of the universe. That being is Jesus, part of the Trinity, made up of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The eternity of Jesus is one of the most profound and wonderful mysteries of the Christian faith. The Gospel of John offers us a window into this transcendent reality. In John 1 verses 1 to 3, we read, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that has been made." These words echo the creation narrative in Genesis, where God speaks and the universe takes shape. The word or logos mentioned by John is Jesus, whose presence and action have been fundamental since the origin of everything. Let's reflect on the meaning of Jesus as the Word. In the beginning refers not only to the beginning of time, but to the origin of all existence. Jesus was there, not as a passive spectator, but as an active agent in creation. He was with God and was God, a powerful statement of his divinity and unity with the Father. Every particle of the universe, every star in the sky, every living being was created through Jesus. He is the source of life and light, the foundation on which the entire cosmos rests. Jesus' eternity also implies that he is outside the temporal limitations that govern our existence. For him, past, present and future are one eternal now. During Lucifer's rebellion, Jesus already existed, fully conscious and present, not only observing events, but possibly playing a crucial role in how they unfolded. His eternity means that he always was and always will be, a concept that defies our understanding, but which is central to the Christian faith. Jesus' eternal presence brings up a fascinating question. How does he interact with time and the events within it? When we think of Lucifer's rebellion, we can imagine Jesus not just as a distant observer, but as an active participant in the defense of divine order. He was aware of Lucifer's motivations and actions, and his divine presence permeated every aspect of the struggle between the faithful angels and the rebels. The battle was not only physical, but spiritual, and Jesus, being the light of the world, was at the center of this struggle between light and darkness. Furthermore, Jesus' eternal nature offers us a glimpse of his ongoing role in salvation history. From creation, through Lucifer's rebellion, to his incarnation as the Savior of the world, Jesus is intimately involved in the divine plan for humanity. He is the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, whose eternal existence guarantees the fulfillment of God's purposes. This understanding of Jesus' eternity is not just theoretical. It has profound implications for our faith and our lives. Knowing that Jesus was present from the beginning, that he participated in the creation and maintenance of the universe, gives us a new perspective on his authority and power. He is not just a historical figure, but the Lord of all creation, whose eternal presence ensures the victory of good over evil. Imagine the vast emptiness before the beginning of time, before the emergence of space and matter, an absolute silence awaiting the divine word. In that primordial moment, Jesus was there, co-creator of the universe. The majesty of this scene is captured impressively in the words of Colossians 1 verses 16 to 17. For in him all things were created, in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things exist. Think for a moment about the magnitude of that statement. All things, from the grandest galaxies to the smallest particles, were created through Jesus. He wasn't just present at creation. He was and is the active agent through whom everything came into existence. Every bright star in the sky, every plant and animal on earth, every spiritual being in heaven, including the angels, were shaped by the creative power of Jesus. When we consider the creation of angels, beings of light and power, we see Jesus' hand in every detail. Angels are mentioned in the Bible as beings of great majesty and strength, created to serve God and fulfill his purposes. From the beginning, Jesus was directly involved in the formation of these heavenly beings. Imagine the scene. Jesus, with infinite love and wisdom, giving life to each angel, each with their own functions and characteristics, ready to worship and serve the Creator. Jesus' presence in creation also implies his authority over everything created. In Colossians, we read that everything was created by him and for him. This means that all things, both visible and invisible, exist to glorify Jesus. He is the raison d'être of all creation, the center around which everything revolves. Nothing exists outside his domain, and everything was made for a divine purpose. Furthermore, Jesus is described as the one in whom everything subsists. Not only did he create the universe, but he also continually sustains it. Every moment of existence is maintained by his power. The image is of a universe that is totally dependent on Jesus for its coherence and continuity. Without him, everything would fall apart. His constant presence ensures that the cosmos works in harmony, that natural laws remain stable, and that life continues to flourish. Let's delve a little deeper. When Lucifer rebelled, he was challenging not only the authority of God the Father, but also that of Jesus, the co-creator and sustainer of everything. Lucifer and the fallen angels, by rebelling, were rising up against the one who gave them existence. This adds a layer of tragedy and irony to the rebellion. Those who were created by Jesus to glorify God chose to turn away from their divine purpose, falling into disgrace and darkness. Visualize, then, Jesus' reaction to this rebellion. He, who had created these beings with such care and intention, saw part of his creation turn against him. Yet his authority remained unshaken. The rebellion was not just an attack on the divine order, but a challenge to the very structure of creation that Jesus upheld. And yet, with his infinite wisdom and power, Jesus allowed God's plan to unfold, knowing that divine justice would prevail. Jesus' presence in creation is a source of great comfort and hope for us. He who created everything and sustains everything is also present in our lives, taking care of every detail, ensuring that everything works according to the divine plan. He knows our struggles, our fears and our hopes, because he is the sustainer of our souls. When we come across the epic narrative of Lucifer's rebellion, an intriguing and captivating question arises. Where was Jesus during these tumultuous events? Although the Bible doesn't provide an explicit description of where Jesus was at this particular moment, his eternal and omnipresent nature as part of the Trinity gives us valuable clues to understanding his presence and role during this heavenly uprising. To begin with, imagine the heavenly setting before the rebellion. Heaven, a place of peace and harmony, filled with glorious angels praising and serving God. Jesus, as the eternal Word, was at the center of this glorious domain, co-creator of all things visible and invisible. His presence was not just a distant observation. He was intimately involved in every aspect of the creation and maintenance of the cosmos. Now, visualize the moment when Lucifer, consumed by pride and ambition, decides to rebel. Lucifer, a high-ranking angel, uses his influence and charisma to attract a third of the angels to his cause. Heavenly peace is shattered by murmurs of discontent and promises of a new kingdom. Tension grows, and rebellion breaks out in full force. At this critical moment, Jesus, with his divine nature, was fully aware of the events unfolding. His omnipresence as God guarantees that he not only observed the rebellion, but also deeply understood the motivations and intentions of each angel involved. Lucifer's rebellion didn't take Jesus by surprise. He knew about the evil plans even before they were executed. Jesus' divine wisdom enabled him to see beyond the present, understand the future consequences, and prepare to act according to the Father's will. Jesus' divine authority also implies that he played a crucial role in the trial and expulsion of Lucifer and the fallen angels from heaven. Imagine the heavenly court, where divine justice is infallible and absolute. Jesus, as part of the Trinity, was present in that courtroom, actively participating in the judgment process. His justice is perfect and his authority is incontestable. He took part in the decision that determined the expulsion of Lucifer and his followers, throwing them out of heaven in an act of divine justice. Let's delve deeper into this image. Think of the strength and power that was displayed when Lucifer and his angels were cast out of heaven. The vision is powerful. Lightning flashing across the sky, marking the fall of the rebels. Jesus' authority, combined with that of the other members of the Trinity, ensured that the rebellion did not destroy the divine order. The fall of the angels was a decisive act that reaffirmed God's power and justice, with Jesus playing a central role in this crucial moment. But Jesus' role in Lucifer's rebellion is not limited to judgment and expulsion. His eternal presence and redemptive mission offer us an even deeper perspective. Jesus, knowing of the coming battles between good and evil, was preparing for his incarnation as Savior of the world. He knew that Lucifer's rebellion was only the beginning of a spiritual war that would culminate in his coming to earth, his death on the cross and his resurrection. His participation in the heavenly rebellion is a prelude to his final victory over sin and death. Imagine the excitement and hope that this truth brings to us. Jesus, present from the beginning, participating in creation, confronting rebellion and preparing the way for redemption. His authority and power are a guarantee that, regardless of the circumstances, good will triumph over evil. Lucifer's rebellion, although tragic, is part of a greater plan that culminates in Jesus' victory and the restoration of the divine order. Now, let's dive into a fundamental and intriguing aspect of Jesus' role during Lucifer's rebellion. Jesus as judge. Imagine the heavenly court, a place of absolute justice, where every action and intention is evaluated with divine precision. Many theologians believe that Jesus, being part of the Trinity and endowed with divine authority, played an active and central role in the judgment of Lucifer and the fallen angels. To better understand this position, we need to consider Jesus' authority as judge. Jesus, as the Son of God, is inseparably united with the Father and the Holy Spirit. The Trinity operates in perfect harmony and unity, sharing power and authority. In John 5 verses 22 to 23, Jesus says, "For the Father judges no one, but has entrusted all judgment to the Son, so that all may honor the Son as they honor the Father. Whoever does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent him." This verse gives us a clear picture of Jesus' judicial authority, conferred directly by the Father. Imagine, then, the moment of Lucifer's rebellion. Heaven, previously a realm of perfect harmony and light, is now in turmoil. Lucifer, one of the highest and brightest angels, rebels, dragging a third of the heavenly hosts with him. Rebellion is not just a physical insurrection, but a spiritual and moral challenge to God's authority. And it is in this context that Jesus, the supreme judge, steps in to ensure that divine justice is done. Visualize the heavenly court, a place of immense majesty and solemn gravity. Lucifer and his fallen angels are presented before the throne of God. Jesus, the eternal Word, is there, not as a passive observer, but as the divine judge. His presence emanates authority and justice. He knows the hearts and minds of all beings. He understands perfectly the motivations of Lucifer and the fallen angels. The image of Jesus as judge is not only powerful, but also deeply emotional. Think of the disappointment and sadness that Jesus, the Creator, must have felt when he saw part of his creation turn against him. These angels, who were created to glorify God and serve with purity, chose rebellion and disobedience. The pain of this betrayal is palpable, but Jesus' justice remains impartial and perfect. He is there to ensure that divine order is restored. Let's delve into the nature of this judgment. Jesus, with his infinite wisdom, evaluates every action and intention of the fallen angels. He not only sees what they did, but understands why they did it. This deep understanding allows him to judge with absolute justice. Each angel is judged individually, their actions are weighed, and their intentions are exposed to the light of divine truth. There is no hiding place in the heavenly courtroom. Everything is revealed before the supreme judge. Jesus' authority as judge is also a reflection of his redemptive mission. He came into the world to save humanity, but before that, he exercised his divine justice in heaven. The judgment of the fallen angels is a preview of the justice he would bring to earth. His authority is not limited to heavenly judgment. It extends to redemption and salvation. By judging Lucifer and his followers, Jesus sets a precedent of divine justice that would be fully revealed in his incarnation, death, and resurrection. This image of Jesus as judge is deeply inspiring. It reminds us that, despite the injustices and darkness that may arise, divine justice will always prevail. Jesus, the supreme judge, guarantees that good will triumph over evil, that divine order will be restored, and that every action will be judged with justice and truth. This certainty gives us hope and confidence, knowing that we are under the protection and authority of a just and loving judge. Imagine, for a moment, heaven in all its celestial glory, a realm of light, harmony, and continuous worship of God. Now, visualize this sublime setting suddenly being shaken by a cosmic conflict, a battle between good and evil that would change the dynamics of heaven forever. This is the backdrop to the dramatic war in heaven described in Revelation 12 verses 7 and 9. In this passage, we read about Michael and his angels fighting the dragon, a representation of Lucifer and his followers. Although Jesus is not explicitly mentioned in the scene, his presence and authority over all creation imply that he was deeply aware of and involved in all these heavenly events. Let's start by visualizing this heavenly war. The book of Revelation presents us with a symbolic vision, where the archangel Michael leads the forces of good against the dragon, who symbolizes Lucifer, the rebellious angel. Michael, whose fidelity to God is unquestionable, is at the head of the loyal angels, ready to defend the divine order. The dragon, with its tail sweeping across a third of the stars, represents the magnitude of the rebellion. Heaven, once a place of peace and unity, becomes an epic battlefield. The emotion of this battle is palpable. Imagine the confrontation between these powerful forces: light against darkness, loyalty against rebellion, good against evil. The angelic hosts, created to worship and serve God, now find themselves in a fierce struggle to protect the sanctity and order of heaven. Michael, with his flaming sword of justice, leads the angels in a titanic combat against the dragon and his fallen allies. Although the passage focuses on Michael and his angels, we must not forget the presence and supreme authority of Jesus. As part of the Trinity, Jesus was perfectly aware of all the events. His omnipresence means that he was watching, understanding, and, in a way, guiding the unfolding of this cosmic battle. Jesus' authority over all creation ensures that nothing happens outside of his knowledge and control. His divine wisdom ensures that every move and decision is aligned with God's eternal plan. Let's delve deeper into the idea of Jesus' involvement. Imagine Jesus, the eternal Word, the one who was with God from the beginning, observing Lucifer's revolt and the subsequent war in heaven. He sees the sadness and pain caused by the rebellion, but he also sees the courage and loyalty of the angels who remain faithful. Jesus, with his compassionate heart, understands the gravity of the conflict, knowing that it is a prelude to the ongoing battle between good and evil that will unfold throughout history. Jesus' presence in this war is not just passive. As co-creator and sustainer of all creation, he is intrinsically linked to the fate of the angels and the outcome of the battle. His divine authority ensures that God's plan will prevail. The war in heaven is not a random conflict. It is an integral part of God's great redemptive plan, in which Jesus plays a central role. To understand this better, think of Jesus as the supreme commander. Although Michael is the leader of the angelic hosts in the battle, he acts under the authority of Jesus. The strength and victory of Michael and the faithful angels are ultimately an extension of Jesus' authority. Jesus, as the divine judge and king of heaven, ensures that justice prevails and rebellion is defeated. He is the source of power and justice that sustains Michael and the angels in their fight against evil. Victory in the war in heaven is a witness to the supremacy of Jesus and the inevitable defeat of evil. The dragon and his fallen angels are cast out of heaven, a victory that reaffirms God's divine order and justice. This triumph is not just a momentary victory. It is a prelude to Jesus' final victory over sin and death, which would be fully realized in his redemptive mission on earth. Now let's consider the emotional impact of this narrative. The war in heaven, with all its drama and intensity, is a powerful reminder of the constant battle between good and evil. It inspires us to trust in divine justice and to believe in the ultimate victory of good. Knowing that Jesus was present and involved guarantees that divine order will always be upheld and that justice will prevail. As we come to the end of this journey through Lucifer's rebellion and the war in heaven, we are reminded of the majesty of Jesus and the victory of good over evil. His presence and authority are eternal, bringing hope and courage to our lives. May we find inspiration in his story and trust in his love and justice. May the peace and grace of Jesus be with us always. Thank you for accompanying us on this journey. And so we come to the end of this incredible journey through the story of Lucifer's rebellion and the war in heaven, where Jesus' presence and authority shine like an eternal light. If you were as fascinated as I was by this topic, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and leave your like. Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to know what you think. And don't miss the news. We'll soon have a members group on the channel with exclusive videos and interesting content. Keep an eye out to find out how you can be part of this special community. And remember, to continue exploring fascinating subjects like this, just click on the videos that appear above. Thank you for following us here. Until next time, and may the peace and grace of Jesus be with you always.